This is a story about creativity. I've been thinking a lot lately about what inspires me and what makes me want to make things. When I was younger, I was captivated by Martha Stewart's TV show. I watched it all the time. I learned so many great tips. Martha Stewart even showed me how to fold towels and how to decorate my home. Her projects were always so glamorous and she made it look so easy. And one of the projects I've always wanted to try was drying peonies in silica sand. Last spring, I finally tried it. Not all my flowers turned out perfectly, but I learned some important tips along the way that I wanted to share. To get started, you're going to need a plastic container with a top, silica sand, and freshly cut peonies. I bought a huge jar of silica on Amazon. I'll leave a link to the silica in the description below. Make sure you always wear a mask and always wear gloves when you're working with silica. And I recommend that you actually use an N95 mask. The first thing I do is add a layer of silica to the bottom of the container. I'm using around 1 inch of silica here. I'm just using my hands to make sure the silica is even along the bottom. And now I want to prepare the peonies for drying. I'm going to remove all the green leaves. And in my case, I'm also going to cut off the stems. It's completely up to you whether you want to leave the stem on your flowers or not. In my case, I'm planning to use the dried peonies to decorate wreaths, so the stem isn't needed. The other thing is that if you don't have the stem in place, it's easier to place the peony into the bottom of the container and cover it with the silica sand without crushing the flower. In order to dry the peonies, you need to cover the flower completely with silica. You want to be careful that you don't crush the petals as you're covering up the flowers. So what I do is, first of all, I want to make sure that the peonies are positioned exactly how I want them to turn out when they're all dry. Then what I do is I use my hand to guide the sand onto the top of the petals and fill in all the empty spaces. I'm being really careful not to crush the petals.
Something to lose, baby, all I need is thought I'd be stuck in a static forever, telling myself it could be enough.
So I let those peonies dry in the silica sand for a total of 3 to 4 days. And then I'm going to come back and take them out of the sand and see how they look. Yeah, so I've waited 3 days for these peonies to dry, and I'm going to use my hands and really carefully remove them from the silica sand. You want to support them from the underneath. I pull it out of the sand, and what on earth is going on? Well, and now we get to my big tip. It turns out you need to make sure that you're using peony flowers that are really freshly picked. So the flowers that I started with, these maroon flowers, actually had been on the vine for, like a few days. So when I took them out of the sand, I was so disappointed. They did not look good at all. This is not what Martha Stewart's peonies looked like.
Don't ask me why I am so mad.
All right, so I was undeterred. I was determined that I was going to do these peonies in silica sand and have them turn out like Martha Stewart's. So what I did was I grabbed some more peony flowers, and this time I made sure that the blooms were really fresh. So they had just basically opened up, and they turned out so much better. Just take a look at these. So I gotta say, once I figured out that I needed to use fresh blooms, my dried peonies turned out perfect. And you know what? I think Martha Stewart would even be proud. So that's it for this video. We'll see you in the next one.